I think I fell in love with you. A little bit. Or a lot.
Oh honey, no. You did not fall in love with this girl a little bit or a lot.
You're too bloody hot.
You are only in love with yourself. That is what your dream represented. Your dream was all about you. It was presenting you in this sexual light.
God, Minho, can you at least put a shirt on when I'm eating?
Hey, it's not my fault you can't handle this.
This dream was seriously giving me American Psycho vibes. You know, when he's spending the night with Christy and Sabrina, and instead of focusing on these beautiful women in front of him, he is looking at himself in the mirror. He's posing. He's pointing at himself. He's like, look at that bad guy. That's you, my friend. That is you with this dream. You cannot convince me otherwise.
You're right. I can't handle it.
Hello everybody, recently finished watching Netflix's XO Kitty series, and there are many things that are not my preference when it comes to stories. I'm not the biggest fan of love triangles or love pentagons, love hexagons, whatever the hell is going on in this show. And I'm certainly not a fan of dragged out drama and angst that's based off of miscommunication that could have been cleared up very quickly in episode 1, but is instead dragged out for several episodes. So, Kitty is the younger sister of Miss Lara Jean, the star of To All the Boys I Loved Before. She has been in a long distance relationship with Day for 4 years, and she finally has her chance to see him in person in South Korea because she is able to transfer to his school. Kitty is very excited to meet the love of her life, Day, at her brand new school. And she's going to surprise him because she did not tell him that she was coming.
We get to spend the entire year together. Now we kiss.
Wait, Kitty, I need to tell you something.
And oh no, if only Yuri had given him a single minute to give a very brief explanation of, oh hey, I didn't realize you were gonna be here, so that's why I didn't tell you this in advance, but I actually agreed to be this girl's fake boyfriend. It might look like I'm cheating on you. I'm not. I will explain later when I have more time. Please don't be too angry with me. Done. Several episodes worth of drama and heartache. Done. But no, this girl feels the need to slide a knife right into Kitty's heart and just twist it and twist it and twist it. She's like, oh hey, this is my boyfriend. Oh, you're his pen pal of 4 years. Oh, he's never really valued your relationship. He's been cheating on you for months, and he's been leading you on and making you believe that he actually cared about you when really he was with me. Don't hit me with the, oh, he couldn't explain something in a brief minute because other people were around and they could have heard about this being a fake relationship. Because later on in the series, Day tells Yuri in public, oh, hey, I like you. And she's like, oh my gosh, is this a love confession? Then he's like, no, platonic. I'm not interested in you romantically, even though they were surrounded by people. They were in a fake relationship. And they even call each other fake boyfriend and fake girlfriend outside where there could be other people around listening. So I don't buy that. He couldn't explain things in this first episode because somebody might have overheard or some bullshit because they didn't care about other people overhearing in other episodes.
Are you not upset he's been cheating on both of us?
No, he's been cheating on you. I knew about you already. Day's American pen pal.
Of course, Kitty is completely heartbroken to discover that the relationship that she invested nearly half a decade in was all completely fake. It was all completely one-sided. This guy never cared about her at all. He wasn't what she thought he was. Yuri does not give a damn that she made Kitty feel this way. So the first few episodes are of Day desperately trying to explain the situation to Kitty. He tried at the welcome party, but then Yuri came along. As I said, didn't even give him a minute to give her a brief explanation.
My boyfriend.
Then Kitty storms off. She's so angry. Anytime he tries to talk to Kitty, she is so angry that she doesn't want to talk to him. And then when she's like, okay, I'm ready, let me hear your explanation, then he's interrupted again by Yuri or by his friends because they're going to be late to class. Oh, and he tried to text her too, but anytime he tried to text her an explanation, those texts did not send.
He told a close friend he thought he could trust, and that person blabbed to the whole school. Guess you gotta be careful who you share your secrets with.
Then he is like 10 seconds away from telling her everything until he finds out she spread around a secret that he had told her about one of his friends. And she said, oh, well, if it was such a big secret, then why did you trust me with that information? Thereby telling him that she could not be trusted with sensitive information.
Sorry, but Mina was being such a jerk. And if it was such a big secret, you shouldn't have told me.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have.
Damn, sorry.
So then that makes him feel hesitant about telling her this sensitive information.
NDA.
Not to mention that this girl made him sign an NDA where he legally is not allowed to tell her that, oh, hey, I'm not cheating on you, by the way. I haven't been cheating on you. I do actually care about you as much as you care about me. I have valued our relationship this entire time. He's not legally allowed to say that because he was roped into a predatory contract. Yuri's family is super duper duper rich. Dae's family is not. And she's able to take advantage of that. Oh, hey, you agree to be my fake boyfriend for one night and I'll pay your tuition for this entire quarter. Great deal, right? And then all of a sudden, oh no, you're not supposed to just be my boyfriend for tonight. You have to do photo ops and we're gonna be the it couple because what do you know, our parents actually want to pretend to support us as a big PR move to show how accepting they are of poor people or something. Anyway, oh yeah, and you also have to jeopardize your relationship of 4 years. And I can act any which way I want because you can't really break up with me because what is your alternative?
내가 하고 있으면 어쩔 건데?
어?
너 나랑 못 헤어져. 아니면 키티가 남자 기숙사에 산다는 거 다 말할 거거든? 그럼 걔 학교에서 퇴학당할 거야.
You don't have any money. You can't pay your own tuition. You signed an NDA. When he originally agreed to this, he didn't agree to jeopardize his relationship. He didn't agree to be in this relationship for so long and in the public eye and everything like that. So several episodes too late, when Kitty does learn the truth of this whole situation, Yuri gets none of the blame. Dae gets everything.
You weren't mad.
Not mad at her. She's not the person that I used to trust with my entire heart and soul.
And she's like, why didn't you tell me even a little? Completely forgetting about this.
What?
He told a close friend he thought he could trust, and that person blabbed to the whole school.
I really wanted to tell you, but how could I? It was my secret to tell.
Of course. But I'm still upset. You could have told me something. Damn, sorry.
This isn't gonna work.
What?
Completely forgetting about the times when he's saying, oh, I can explain everything, I can explain everything. And then he was interrupted. Yuri came along.
What the hell is going on?
It's not what it looks like.
Well, it looks like you're a cheater.
She told him, you should not trust me with sensitive information.
Sorry, but Mina was being such a jerk. And if it was such a big secret, you shouldn't have told me.
She completely forgot about this interaction. And really, Dae was just...
그럼 걔 학교에서 퇴학당할 거야.
안유리.
아니야, 얘. 너, 민호, 큐 다 못된 한유리한테서 착한 키티를 구해주고 싶었겠지.
He was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that was really horrible. And when it came to Yuri, she caused so much unnecessary drama. But the reason why she did this was because secretly she's gay. She's been in a secret relationship for not for 4 years, not even for 4 months, but for a summer. And then now the relationship is long distance, but again, hasn't been long distance for like 4 years or something. It's only been like a couple weeks or a couple months at most. But she's completely devastated about this. She's devastated and yet cannot see that, oh, hey, all of this heartache that I'm feeling over a relationship that has only lasted for a few months, that can make me sympathize with Day and Kitty, who are experiencing a lot of heartache for a relationship that's gone on for nearly half a decade. No, she doesn't give a shit about that. She finds out later that her mom sent her girlfriend away after she found out about the homosexual shenanigans she was getting up to. But again, she sent her girlfriend away. Her girlfriend still knows that they want to be together. She didn't pay the girlfriend into breaking up with Yuri or pretending that she's in a relationship with somebody else, pretending that she's been cheating on Yuri this whole time and she doesn't actually care about her and she would rather just upgrade to somebody else. Her mom didn't do anything like that, but the betrayal is apparently so much worse than what she did to Kitty and Day.
너 나랑 못 헤어져. 아니면 키티가 남자 기숙사에 산다는 거 다 말할 거거든. 그럼 걔 학교에서 퇴학당할 거야.
And her parents are rich, and we're supposed to think of them as these asshole rich people. But Yuri is also an asshole rich person who used her wealth as a weapon against Day. But the real kicker of this show, despite the fact that she was rude as fuck to Kitty for several episodes at a time, a guy tries to flirt with Kitty by insulting Yuri's good looks. And there are a lot of things wrong with Yuri, but she is a good looking girl, okay?
There's no way any guy leaves you for Yuri.
Oh. Well,
Seriously, she's not even pretty. And her nose is a little... not little.
You can say a number of horrible things about her personality, but her face? No, that's completely off limits. You can't insult that. And so she calls him out.
you think talking bad about Yuri scores you points with me? Well, that don't impress me much.
And then like half an hour later, this guy comes back and he's like, thank you for calling me out. I really learned a lot about misogyny and how I shouldn't insult one girl to lift up another girl. And she's like, thank you for some self-reflection. That's so great. I'm so here for all of this self-improvement. And then Yuri overhears this and she's like, you thought this guy was awful a minute ago. Do you really think that he's been able to improve himself in the last 30 minutes?
Remember how gross he seemed before you were drunk?
Yeah, well, he hasn't changed that much in the past hour.
And she's like, oh my God, you're right. Logic applies to this guy whose biggest crime was insulting one girl in order to compliment another girl. But when it comes to Yuri, who's been completely awful this entire time, she's just instantly forgiven. And Kitty's like, oh my God, this girl is so amazing.
She's amazing. Hey, what am I saying? This is Yuri, my enemy.
Then she ends up having a dream about Yuri. Out of nowhere. After this, there are some positive interactions between Yuri and Kitty. So maybe it would have made sense if she had a sex dream about Yuri after some of those positive interactions. Or even if they had just waited until season 2 to introduce that. But this came completely out of nowhere. And no, I'm not into it just because lesbian couple. When it comes to another love triangle,
You can have a sex dream about someone you're repulsed by in real life.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Minho. Minho could have a sex dream about, like, me.
I understand that enemies to lovers is a trope that a lot of people love and really enjoy because you see this huge progression from enemies to lovers basically, or enemies to friends to lovers. Although again, they weren't even friends when Kitty started developing feelings out of fucking nowhere. Have them be friends for a minute before whatever. You see a bigger journey than if they were already friends and had friendly feelings and then fell in love, or in Day's case, when they start out together and then end up together. That's like, you know, you see less of an arc with those types of relationships. So I understand the appeal of enemies to lovers. Not the biggest fan when they are super toxic, like what I said about Yuri and how she disregarded Kitty's feelings and she was acting completely cruel and horrible. Completely horrible. However, when we have enemies to lovers where the conflict is just they have conflicting personalities, conflicting values, and they annoy each other, but they don't do anything like horrible. They don't like go out of their way to hurt each other. They don't actually cause much damage with each other or like heartache. It's mainly just an annoyance issue because of the friction between their conflicting personalities. I think that that works out a lot better.
What the hell did you put in those potatoes?
A lot of lactose, milk, cheese.
So for example, with this other K-drama where in order to annoy his crush, Jung Jae-young decided to dress head to toe in his crush's least favorite color. And he bought all of the coffee that the guy likes and he sat in his favorite spot in class. If you happen to know which K-drama I was referencing there, can you comment with a heart emoji and the name of the K-drama? These are things that are annoying, but it's not like as heartbreakingly awful as, oh yeah, your boyfriend of 4 years never valued your relationship and has been cheating on you with me. Oh my god, in this scene where they were bonding over the whole, at least you're not going to embarrass yourself like that time when you crashed into the cupcakes. You told her that her boyfriend was cheating on her when she was in a room full of a bunch of people. That's when she crashed into that was your fault. That's not a cute, funny, haha thing that you can joke about. Like, oh, so annoying. But yes, with Minho, it was more lighthearted, you know?
Professor Affinity, I want a new lab partner. Portland Stalker is in remedial classes. No.
It was funny.
As a Korean national, I cannot in good conscience let you desecrate my native cuisine like this.
Hey, what?
Do you want to poison your classmates? Or do you want my help?
Fine. But I'm still making the mashed potatoes. I have an entire system. Don't mess it
Just
up.
follow me.
I really enjoyed every time he came on the screen. I know that he's an asshole, he's self-absorbed, but he's funny.
There are these tiny, microscopic moments, and I can see why Day is friends with you. There's an actual person in there.
He was the most entertaining character of this damn show. I wouldn't say that I ship him with Kitty. I do not ship anybody with Kitty. I ship this guy with more screen time.
Oh, hey, look, it's my mom. Oh, wow. She's gorgeous. I know. Oh, thank God I got a bone structure.
Now, when they first meet, he is convinced that the Portland stalker is not only completely in love with Day, but obviously completely in love with him too, following him around because he's so sexy and gorgeous, and who wouldn't want him?
You're seriously everywhere. You're like my very own sasaeng.
What's the sasaeng?
You, my very own obsessed fan.
And when he had that dream about Kitty, I don't think it's necessarily that his subconscious discovered that he was secretly in love with Kitty, because like, look at how she's dressed. She's not in any state of undress. I mean, it looks like she's not wearing pants, but we don't even focus on her legs. We focus so much on how sexy he looks. Like, look at him. So I thought it was funny that this was his sex dream, but he was the only one being super over-sexualized in his own sex dream. And it just shows that he wanted somebody to admire him. And Kitty she wasn't necessarily playing hard to get, because that would imply that she was only pretending to be disinterested when she was actually disinterested. But I think that somebody like him, he would want to chase, you know? Or he would see somebody who doesn't appear to be interested in him and would see that as a challenge that he needs to overcome, because he wants everybody to admire and love him.
You must be thinking about your mum too. A lot this week.
Yeah, I am. But in a good way. I can feel her all around me here. Thanks, Minho.
You're welcome.
In this show, with all of this unnecessary angst, this unearned redemption, I am on board with this storyline so far as much as I can be. Some miscellaneous points. I can definitely tell that this audio was added in post-production.
You hear that?
Sounds like it's coming from the chemistry lab.
I need to go talk to Alex, but I'll meet up with you later.
Kitty was a very good student back in America, but very poor student in Korea, because American education system is just nothing compared to the Korean education system.
I failed my lit test. I have never gotten below an A- in my entire life.
I've failed at many things in my life.
If you want to see a K-drama about Korean students who have like no social life at all, their life is dedicated to studying, going to school, then going to cram school, and fighting each other over getting into the best cram school and trying to make sure that they get the best test scores, I would recommend Crash Course in Romance for you. It's also on Netflix.
에너지 드링크에 고카페인 음료에 그래 치료제까지. 학교에서는 자제해달라고 공문도 몇 차례 보냈는데. 근데 뭐 한편은 이해가 돼. 밥 먹고 공부밖에 안 하는 애들인데 시험 한 번에 인생이 왔다 갔다 그러는 거잖아. 얼마나 졸리겠냐.
We don't just follow the teenagers, we also follow their moms and how their moms are willing to sabotage other students so that their kid can be number one in class.
선일고에서도 전교 1등 하는 남자애랑 전교 5등 하는 여자애랑 사귀었는데 그 다음 시험에 남자애는 20등 떨어지고 여자애는 전교 1등 찍었다더라고. 아니 뭐 선재가
걱정하지 마세요. 내 아들 단속은 내가 알아서 해요.
I would say it seems like this show is more like a stepping stone from a traditional American show into like kind of dipping your toe into K-drama land, but not quite. But at least on this website of Netflix, there are some good K-dramas. In fact, my favorite K-drama is on Netflix. This one wasn't quite my cup of tea, but I did think that Minho was funny, and I quite liked him every time he came on my screen.
What are you doing here?
I thought maybe you could use a friend.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate having you here, and tell me what you think about this love hexagon or whatever the hell is going on. Who do you ship in this show? What ship do you hate if you hate a ship like I do?